Many years ago, in the Mesoamerican era, which is now the region of Mexico and Central America, there were three native groups: the Olmecs, the Maya, and the Aztecs. Unfortunately, the information about the Olmecs cocoa is very vague, so we have to say goodbye to the Olmecs for now. Bye-bye. Let's go on an adventure with the Maya first. The Maya have a legend that the god Chak, the god of water and rain, sacrificed his blood and let it drip onto the ground. This blood turned into a cocoa tree, which grew beautifully and became the origin of the god Ekchua. Every year, the villagers gather to thank Ekchua for taking care of this cocoa tree. The way the Maya consumed cocoa is fascinating. They would roast the cocoa beans, add chili and corn for flavor, grind everything, and then boil it until it was hot. I wonder how it tasted. The Maya also used cocoa fruits and beans in funeral rituals, believing that burying cocoa with the deceased would increase their chances of winning the god's favor. The more cocoa, the higher the chances. Cocoa was also used as currency. One rabbit cost 8 cocoa beans. A prostitute cost 8 beans or more, depending on negotiation. And a slave cost more than 100 beans. In wedding ceremonies, the groom would say,
"I give this as a sign that I accept you as my wife,"
and present a new skirt and 5 cocoa beans to the bride. The bride would say,
"I give this as a sign that I accept you as my husband."
Paint a chair and 5 cocoa beans to the groom. And they lived happily ever after. Stop! Before we get too sentimental, let's change the subject. Now, let's move to the Aztec tribe. Hello, Aztecs. Hello. Oops. Let's move to the next scene. The Aztecs believed that the cocoa tree was a gift from the god Quetzalcoatl, the god of wind and rain, who secretly shared cocoa beans with the human world. But this led to him being condemned by other gods. The Aztecs used cocoa drinks as an aphrodisiac, and only men were allowed to drink it. Emperor Montezuma II, who ruled the Aztecs, drank up to 50 cups a day and often drank it before visiting women. How astonishing! Additionally, cocoa drinks were used to keep soldiers alert and energized, ready for battle. Time passed until 1519 when Hernán Cortés, a Spanish explorer, sailed to the shores of the Aztec tribe. When he landed, the villagers mistook Hernán for the god Quetzalcoatl.
"Oh, Quetzalcoatl has come to us,"
they exclaimed, and warmly welcoming him. This news reached Emperor Montezuma II, who invited Hernán Cortés to meet him and served him the impressive cocoa drink. Little did they know, Hernán Cortés had a sinister plan behind his hidden smile. 3 years later, in 1521, Hernán Cortés successfully executed his sinister plan, seizing power from Emperor Montezuma II. Hernán took gold, other resources, and of course, the prized cocoa beans back to Spain. When cocoa arrived in Spain, it was transformed into a medicinal remedy, believed to cure stomach aches, act as a laxative, and treat colds. However, due to its bitter taste, it was flavored with honey, sugar, and scented with jasmine or ambergris, whale vomit. Cocoa drinks became highly popular among the upper class and spread throughout Europe. But a sad chapter unfolded in the 18th century when women were diagnosed with hysteria, exhibiting symptoms like insomnia, psychiatric issues, irritability, anxiety, fainting, and a heightened libido. Doctors believed these symptoms were caused by excessive cocoa consumption. The treatments were harsh, including tooth extraction, electric shocks, and solitary confinement. In 1828, Dutch chemist Coenraad Johannes van Houten invented a method to reduce the bitterness and separate cocoa butter from cocoa, making it dissolve in water more quickly. 20 years later, in 1847, English chocolate maker Joseph Fry mixing cocoa butter, cocoa powder, and sugar, created the world's first chocolate barb. After, Daniel Peter had the idea to make milk chocolate. He tried mixing fresh milk into chocolate, but failed until his neighbor, Henri Nestle, invented powdered milk. He then asked his neighbor for milk powder to make milk chocolate. Daniel finally succeeded in creating milk chocolate in 1875, after 7 years of effort. And so, the rich and diverse history of cocoa and chocolate comes to an end. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, like, or comment to support us. Thank you.